Terry, tell me about tax cuts. It looks like speculation is only tranche 2 will come forward, not tranche 3. What do you think?
Well, I'm absolutely in favour, and I'm sure you and Andrew are as well, that tax cuts, let's remind ourselves what tax cuts are. They're not something the government is giving us, that's something that the government leaves with us, our own money. Instead of taking more of it, we'll be able to keep more of it in our own pockets. We make better decisions about spending it. But the key things in this budget are not going to be on the tax side, they're going to be on the spending side, obviously. And I'm rather pessimistic, despite what Andrew said, that we need that conversation about how to make a productive future for Australia going forward. I don't see that actually happening. I think we're going to be mired in the same sort of silly dead-end debates we've had up until this point. Because the other thing which I haven't mentioned, and Andrew hasn't mentioned, is energy. I mean, it's not only about focusing on productivity, it's focusing on the fundamental driver of any economy, which is cheap, plentiful, and sustainable energy. And none of that is going to be in the conversation, certainly not in this budget, and certainly not after the budget.
And just a quick comment. I listened to in Question Time today. Labor's key attack is, well, you were tough on us borrowing money in the GFC, and now you want us to say it's okay to spend like you're spending in the COVID recession. Do you see a difference between these two?
Well, I can see that there is reasonable grounds for Labor to be saying, you know, we were criticised. What is the rationale for all this spending? I think Labor's massively undermined its attack there by having been so supportive of all the lockdowns and stringent restraints on business and so forth, particularly undertaken by state governments. That's caused all these massive deficits. So they undercut their position there, and I think therefore that will significantly blunt that attack. But actually, in some ways, it's not a bad thing to have some pressure at least coming there.
Just a quick one, Terry. I listened to the Premier of Victoria today basically saying how proud he was that Victoria was the engine room, that he'd be watching the budget from Canberra tonight, looking for largesse from federal taxpayers. I think if you just let Melburnians get back to work, that'd be the engine room, wouldn't it?
Well, the engine room needs a new engineer, Peter. I think that's the message that comes out of that story. It's a quarter of the national economy. It's a quarter of the national economy which remains not only a drag in its own terms, but is dragging back the whole national economy. So the headwinds that the government faces in Canberra are really coming out of Melbourne.
Absolutely, absolutely. Got to leave it there. Terry McCrann, Andrew Stone, thank you for being with us on Budget Night.
Thanks, Peter.